Hello, friends. The 785th day of the war between Russia and Ukraine continues. A high tempo of hostilities remains in the Avdiivka direction. The enemy continues assault operations on the approaches to the village of Ocherechny, which is located at a commanding height, and on the southern outskirts of the village of Novokalinovi, where Russian infantry is attacking from two directions. According to data from the Ukrainian side, today the enemy occupied the eastern part of the village of Novokalinovi, where they advanced in an area up to 2.5 kilometers wide and to a depth of 1.67 kilometers. To the west, Russian troops occupied two forest belts in an area up to 1.51 kilometers wide and to a depth of up to 700 meters. It also became known yesterday that the Russians had advanced towards Ocherechny, where fighting had already begun on the western outskirts of the village. Along the way, enemy assault groups continue to put pressure in the Berdichi area, making attempts to bypass the village from the north and in the central part of Semenovka. The Telegram channel of the 46th Brigade wrote about what threatens the Russians' approach to Ocherechny. According to them, after leaving Avdiivka and retreating to pre-prepared lines, the question arose about preparing these lines. It was assumed that in the event of a breakthrough, a natural obstacle for the enemy would be the water boundaries of the network of reservoirs in the Vovcha River, starting from the Karlivka Reservoir north to Novobakhmutivka. In the absence of engineering equipment in the defense area, this was natural. Apparently, the enemy came to the same conclusion, and he began to look for a way out of the situation, the prospect of storming the fortified area with crossing water obstacles. However, until recently he did not indicate it. And at the beginning, his offensive along the Stepovi and Novobakhmutivka, Ocherechny direction seemed only to be a movement according to the principle of advancing where we can. Now, the Russians' plan has acquired tactical outlines. The exit to Ocherechny puts pressure on the northern front of the defensive units of the Ukrainian armed forces throughout the Avdiivka direction. In the event of a breakthrough along the Netalovia-Karlivka direction, the prospect of operational encirclement will again loom. In addition, the capture of Ocherechny will create an opportunity for envelopment the entire defense area described above. The Russians clearly outlined their desire to move along the direction that General Budanov identified as the direction of the main attack for the spring-summer of this year, the city of Pokrovsk. At the same time, they began to solve this problem already at Ocherechny. But this is not the main thing. From Ocherechny, it is only 15 kilometers to the exit to one of the most famous sections of the Rock Road, connecting the north and south of the Eastern Front, Konstantinivka, Pokrovsk, Velika Novosilka. And this is already the possibility of taking a section of an entire logistics arm of operational strategic significance under fire control, reports the Telegram channel of the 46th Brigade. Also, judging by incoming videos, Russian armored vehicles entered Krasnohorovka, west of Donetsk. A Russian Turtle tank penetrated there from the eastern side, reported build military observer Julian Rock. Reinforced with metal sheets and an electronic warfare system, the tank was able to enter the city under intense Ukrainian artillery fire and return to base unharmed. Rock reminds us that last time everyone laughed at this Turtle tank, which was called a garage in public, but declares that it is not funny at all. And he asks the question, where are the Ukrainian defenders? The Deep State Telegram channel writes about the penetration of Russian equipment from the southern outskirts of Krasnohorovka. And he publishes a video of 7 units of armor that arrives at the station, where they land. It is noticeable in the footage that at first, columns of 4 and 3 vehicles are driving through open areas, where artillery fires at them, but misses. Then they drive into urban areas. It can be seen that a number of cars are also protected by a barbecue. If we analyze the incoming videos from Krasnohorovka, we can identify some tactical trends. Firstly, armored vehicles are still the main means of delivering infantry from the attack line to the landing point. Yes, all this happened under the supervision of eyes, but no other way has yet been invented. The movement of a foot infantry group is revealed instantly, even at night, and is then covered by artillery. On armored vehicles equipped with anti-drone protection and an electronic warfare system, the chances of getting caught in a section of territory increase exponentially. Secondly, there is no possibility of creating a continuous minefield, even in a tank-hazardous direction. Judging by the video, groups of armored vehicles have entered the southeastern part of the city several times recently along almost the same route. At the same time, on some tanks, mine trawls are visible at the head of the column. But there is no trawling or car explosions. Thirdly, the combination of reconnaissance drones and artillery requires improvement when working against dynamic targets. The video shows that despite the attack being revealed at an early stage, anti-tank weapons did not work, and conventional artillery weapons were powerless against dynamic targets. Fourthly, the erasure of urban areas by aircraft becomes a problem not only for the defenders, but also for the advancing infantry. The enemy, in an attempt to cling to the only partially surviving warehouse and railway station building, became a hostage to the actions of his aircraft, which erased from the ground all buildings that, at least in theory, could become a strong point. Fifthly, the video does not show the operation of FPV drones. Despite the increasing role of FPV drones, their use is not always possible, impractical, or simply not available on site. Friends, preparing these daily reports has become my full-time job, and I have no other job for obvious reasons. There have been few views on the channel lately, which is why I ask for your help. If you have the opportunity to support me financially, I would be very grateful. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.